we're back, and we're going to show you two of the most disturbing unsolved mysteries in Arkansas.
That will leave you baffled?
Yeah, that will leave you baffled. Number one, above the railroad tracks near Gordon, Arkansas, a mysterious floating light has been spotted since the 1930s. People have been debating the cause of the light. Swamp gas, pressurized quartz crystals, and headlights reflection have been possible explanations, but nobody has even figured it out.
And then here's a picture of Pinterest. Here's a picture from Pinterest.
And it's been hovering over railroad tracks. How weird is that, guys?
The legend is that the railroad worker's head was severed by an oncoming train. The light is the ghost lantern used to search for his head.
Okay, number two. In 1914, Texarkana, 5 people were murdered by a man wearing a burlap sack with 2 slits for eyes.
Dubbed the
Texarkana Phantom Killer, this case remains unsolved.
And then here's a picture also from Pinterest. It also says...
I would be terrified if I saw that.
It looks like that guy from Trick or Treat. Sam from Trick or Treat.
Oh, yeah. And it also says
the massacre inspired the movie The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I thought it was. Okay. I think we could do a couple more in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, number 3. In Alexander, the bodies of Kevin Ives and Don Henry were run over by a train. The deaths were first ruled as suicides, but after years of appeal, the rulings changed from suicide to undetermined to eventually homicide. These teens have been murdered before the train incident, but no arrests were ever made.
Okay, and then here's a picture of Pinterest of a railroad track and what seems to be a train on the right side.
And how creepy would that? Number 4.
Let's read this. Many conspiracies were prompted by the tragedy, including a mildly far-fetched drug smuggling cover-up connected to a former U.S. president. I wonder which president that was.
Number 4. The small town of Foku became infamous in the 1970s when the man claimed to have been attacked by a man-like creature. The police investigation could only find strange tracks and claw marks on the man's porch. The legend of the Foku monster, Arkansas residents Bigfoot was born. If you go down, here's a picture
also from Pinterest. I think I'm reading number 5.
Okay, the legend
of Boggy Creek, a true story. And here's like an article. Okay, a pseudo documentary, The Legend of Boggy Creek, highlights the town's monster lore. That's kind of creepy.
And FYI, guys, this is a movie. Go ahead and look it up and see what it says. And if you end up looking at it, leave what it's about in the comments down below.
Okay, let's see number 5. Devil's Hole Cave
resides in the tiny town
of Self, just north of Harrison. The urban legend is that the landowner wanted to explore the cave. He climbs down about 200 feet and comes to a ledge that drops off into a narrow void. Hissing is heard from the darkness. He returns with others and they drop a flatirons tied to a rope into the drop-off. The rope is pulled and the flatirons is received badly bent and seems to have claw marks.
And here's a picture from Pinterest again. Go down farther.
Seems to be like some sort of cave.
Yeah.
I don't see...
It looks like kind of like a mine shaft if you look at it. See?
Maybe like an old
mine shaft.
World War or some sort of transport or something?
For some strange reasons, no one volunteered to climb down to see what pulled the rope.
Okay, you can go and read this one.
Okay. Number 6. John Thurman McCool was a Pine Bluff businessman with a checkered past after having served a sentence for forgery. He was reported missing in 1962. His body was found with 7 gunshots buried deep in the snow at a cemetery. Mayflower involvement was rumored, but his death remains unexplained.
To just repronounce, it's Mafia.
Yeah, Mafia. I did not. Sorry, guys.
It's right here.
And here's a picture of where he was found.
Scooch over a little bit.
You can visit his grave at Graceland Cemetery in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
In Pine Bluff? Is that Pine? No, that's Pine Bluff. And then here seems to be like a snowy cemetery in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Kind of cool. Number 7. In Prescott, a traveling salesman, simply known as Mike, was involved and put on display outside a funeral home. His corpse was nicknamed Old Mike. He died in 1911 and wasn't buried until 64 years later. Dang. Here seems to be some sort of picture of old dead Mike.
Yeah.
And before he was buried. The real mystery is why it took so long for someone to decide, hey, maybe we should try to bury this guy. And here's some ads and
retard crap.
Yeah.
Go down. Number 8. People have become lost or gone completely missing at a cave in Cushman. A 1950 exploration of Blowing Cave
allegedly unearthed a massive cavern 5 miles below the surface. Unexplained lights appeared in the cavern, as well as reptilian or something creatures or 8-foot blue humanoids, depending on which account is told.
And here's a picture of where the cave is at.
Also from Pinterest.
According to science fiction writer Richard Shaver, the cave is one of the entrances to a subterranean civilization. 9. The mystery of White River Monster has been haunting Newport since 1915. The creature is reported as gray-skinned, horned, and larger
than a car.
Only tracks have been found.
Here's a picture from Pinterest. Ooh, that kind of looks like a scary, weird, deformed mini megalodon, I guess.
Yeah. In 1973, legislation created the White River Monster Refuge. It's illegal to hunt whitey within the protected land. Okay. Whitey is the name of the monster.
Number 10, December 1st, 1994, Melissa Witt vanished from Fort Smith's Bowling World. That's scary. That's near us. Fort Smith's Bowling World parking lot. There were signs of a struggle, but little was recovered from the crime scene. Her body was found 5 years later in the Ozark Mountains, but her was never caught. Okay, well, that's weird.
Here's a picture of the Bowling World parking lot where she was kidnapped and murdered.
I think here you can see some scrapes and claws.
Scrapes were the struggle. Although the case may be cold, the Fort Smith police are still welcoming any information concerning the case.
Do you feel truly thrilled and chilled? If you need a pleasant palate cleanser, try touring this cider mill. Alright, what the heck? Well, that's weird.
Okay, guys, that's the end of it. Thanks for watching.
I'm gonna leave.
That's it.
I'm gonna leave the link to this website in the description.
Yeah.
Alright, bye, dudes.
See ya.